Hi friends, I hope everyone's doing well. This is the last collage for my 30-day project for June. I'm calling this one my cool down collage. I'm using an exercise term because I was cooling down from this daily project. Also, the collages I created for the first full week were called the warm-ups, so I thought it was appropriate to use a similar term for this final one. The design of this collage isn't experimental or exciting, it's functional. I'm using the paper and paint layers as a base for mark making with some of the pens that I brought out, which I want to use as a focus for this artwork. I'll add music while you watch me create this paper layer. I'll come back to discuss the paint and pen layers. My plan for the paint layer is to add accent elements. As you will see, I'm not applying the paint over the whole surface and didn't use all the paint colors. I like using circular and dome shape elements in my art. I think those types of shapes soften the artwork that have straight edge elements like this paper layer. I'm adding 3 of these shapes in different areas to help guide the viewer's eyes around the collage. Also notice that I'm not making them solid, flat painted shapes. I wanted each one to have an uneven look as a way to bring in texture. I'm testing out the pens that I initially brought out. I should have done this step before filming. Some of the pens were drying out, some were too thin or didn't have the consistency for the look I wanted. I ended up going back into the pen container and pulling out this black gel ink pen. I like the smooth look that this type of pen creates. I'm using it to continue creating circular and dome shapes. I use a similar mark inside of drawn shape in a few of the other collages in this series. It's a continuous, uneven horizontal lines. I think it's more interesting of a detail than if I used even, straight horizontal lines. By the way, I'm using this blue shop rag because it was very hot in my studio when I was filming, so I didn't want the oils from my hand to get on the collage. Next up, I'm using a thicker paint marker to create a solid dome shape. Using a heavier shape like this one will add weight to the design. I could have used black acrylic paint, but using a paint marker provides a different look. I'm continuing to add more thin line shapes and solid shapes to balance the design. I'm being mindful not to add too many. I didn't want the surface to look too busy. I'm adding to the shape because I thought the truncated shape looked a bit odd. Having the shape continuing on to the next color paper reinforces that it's on top of the artwork. This is a simple cool down collage. I like the shapes made by the markers, which is why I created this style of collage. Let's continue to the next section where I talk about which designs, compositions, and techniques I want to add to my art practice. Let's go over the designs, compositions, and techniques that I want to include in my art practice. I won't be going over all the collages because some of them I already use, such as applying off-white paint on top of a collage or painted deli papers. I want to incorporate oil pastels and markers more often in my art practice. Adding elements such as this one is a good example. Also these shapes and this one and these two. The green shapes, this whole area with the yellow element and the black marker, even the pink lines framing this scrap of grid paper is interesting. I don't care for the look of all the elements having outlines, but I like this area with the large pink element and the black lines. I like all of these black elements. I want to further explore the design style of a monoprinted ground layer with a few elements that have different colors on top of it. Examples such as this one with the blue papers and this one with the green and teal papers. Also this one that has painted orange elements. And there's one more. This one with red and burgundy paper ground with aqua, turquoise, and light blue papers. There are a few compositions and color combinations that I want to include, such as this one with the expressive painted ground and two paper arches. The section of this artwork that I like is the design of this paper layer, lime, orange, and dark green. It has movement, so it guides the viewer's eyes up and down the page. I like the color combination and all the layers from this light multi-painted ground to the layout of the geometric shapes to the pink painted marker accents. I like the color combination and the design of this paper-only collage. I like this color combination and design as well. Same for this one and this one. I'm unsure about the two collages that I have what I call a floating design, this one and this one. I have to think about if I want to make a few more in this style to see if I want to add to my art practice. After reviewing all the collages I made, I noticed that I didn't use any junk mail ephemera. I have a dedicated video using this type of ephemera, but it's over a year old. My plan for the next video is to use junk mail along with other papers and supplies to see what I can come up with that's different than the collages in the old video. If I like those collages, then I'll add junk mail to my art practice. Well, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed following along with me on this 30-day project. I think it was a good experience and exercise. I will continue to do daily collage videos from time to time. I have a playlist of all my past daily collage videos that I'll link in the description area. Thanks for watching. I hope to see you soon. Take care.